Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
This Independence Day weekend, kick your party off with a bang. DeWeather Center presents the first annual DeWeather Cares Charity Softball Classic presented by the National Racing Network. The Palmerton Boobies, DeWeather Center Bluecocks, Blue Mountain I-95ers, Pocono Front Platers, Schuylkill County Crackers, Reading Nurses, Catasauqua Blue Tits, and Beltsville Lake Monsters will take the field in Emerald. Find out more on Facebook at DeWeather Center. DeWeather Center, offensively accurate. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona. Technically, the city of Avondale playing host here to the Indy Pro 2000 official championships as practice is just wrapping up. My name is Chris Graham. You are watching live coverage of the Indy Pro 2000 championship right here on the National Racing Network. Joined tonight in the booth by James Watson and Sebastian Kinder, a couple of the guys we had out on the racetrack just a little bit ago for the Ezra Grid Rival IndyCar Series. We're going to get to talk to him in the booth here. We'll start things off with James Watson. And James, I'll tell you what, Phoenix is one of those places that just seems like if there was an oval built for the PM18s on iRacing, it is most certainly the Phoenix International Raceway.
Oh, man. This place puts on absolutely unbelievable races. With even guys that are, well, sucky. So having the best of the best in the series convening here tonight, like having Greg and Jason go up against each other in like a clash of the Titans right now, like, oh my goodness, I can't wait. This is going to be it's perfect that this is Phoenix and we're out west because I'm getting major Wild West shootout vibes here. Like, I just know on the front row, I just can't help but picture Greg and Jason looking across from each other, and then you just hear the old Wild West theme in the background. You'd hear, wee wee wah wah wah, wee wee wah wah wah.
Well, yeah, we're talking here about guys like Greg Seitz, who is currently the overall points leader by a wide margin in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. But Jason Owens is absolutely spectacular on the ovals. The host of the TNT PM18 All Oval Series, almost losing it there in 3 and 4. This is open set racing at its best here, Sebastian. And I tell you what, man, this is going to be one of the deepest fields we see all season long.
Technical difficulties at the moment.
I was going to say, did we? Oh, okay. So we just lost Sebastian here. We'll get him back in just a moment. But yeah, this race is going to be pretty darn spectacular here this evening as Jason Owens parks it out on the racetrack. Greg Seitz finishing up his qualification run. And the interesting thing here is Seitz jumps up to P2. How about identical lap times for Frank Wynn and Greg Seitz? No surprise there. But I'll tell you what here. This uses the oval iRating for these drivers. So Greg Seitz is ranked 16th amongst the drivers for oval iRating tonight. Jason Owens actually will be carrying the #1 plate in the race here this evening.
Yeah, I imagine knowing Greg in this car that it won't be 16 for very long. Yeah, this is going to be a hell of a race. Looking at the roster we have tonight, we obviously have the two aliens in Jason and Greg, but obviously we're well aware of what Frank can do. Simon is great on ovals from TNT. Kevin and Curtis, a couple more great guys from TNT. Chris Kresge, I'm well aware of him. He's the benevolent overlord of the RIL and top tier oval open wheel guy. You got Pidu making a return, Michael Haller always fast, Dave McDonald. Oh man, we got a heck of a show tonight. I am looking forward to this.
This race is going to be pretty monster here. Want to thank everybody who's tuning in tonight. Wanting to know where you're watching from, if you're tuning in on Twitch or YouTube, and if you're watching on the YouTube, we can now accept Super Chats. It's all but a guarantee that your comment is going to get on the air. Julian Altita, a heartbreaker in the last race, saying our intro music is addictive, which is pretty comical. Producer extraordinaire, one of our new producers, Connor Baldwin, saying James can still sing better than PT. I don't know that I would go that far. Greg Seitz finishing up his qualification run here, and I tell you what, again, not a surprise, but a flat dead tie between Frank Wynn and Greg Seitz at the top of the speed charts.
Well, there went my whole intro with the two of them staring each other down on the pit road. Jason Owens, what happened?
Yeah, that's sort of a that may be an interesting question here. We'll see if we can get to Jason, but first, let's get you the starting grid here. 25.353 seconds is the identical lap time for your front row starters this evening. Frank Wynn and Greg Seitz. Simon Fell and James Curtis can occupy row #2. A couple of names very familiar to the TNT Carolina SimWorks Series viewers. Nathan Bart, Andy Corsa on row #3. James Allen and Jason Owens on row #4. Kevin Smalley, Dave McDonald on row #5. Kevin Ayers and John Dinkle will occupy the 6th row. Row 7 will see Michael Olson and Mike Holler. Jason Paydu and Paul Jennings on row #8. Row 9, Garrett Cogburn and Chris Kresge. all alone in the 10th row will be the number 12 of Kevin Dixon. And I tell you what here, James, this is pretty darn spectacular of a field. No surprise that we've got some of the names at the front that we have here. An overall iRating strength of 2112, but this is where things are going to start to get a little bit interesting here. We'll bring up the license details on these drivers. This is a C-Class series, so anybody with a C-Class license or greater is able to get into the series here. What that means is we're going to see Frank Wynn, who's sitting on a top-level B license, Greg Seitz with a D 3.16 oval license and a 1700 iRating. His iRating on the road side of things is about 14 million. James Curtis running third, a B 3.6 license. We've got everything from top to bottom here, but it goes to show you where the experience level of these drivers is in terms of the time they spend running oval races.
Yeah, it's crazy when you consider how great some of these drivers are, and they have ratings that really don't reflect it, because Greg and Curtis are way more than sub 2K talent. So that's what you kind of wish there were more oval weeks, so that way they can get rating that accurately describes how good they are here in these cars.
Off at turn number 4, green flag goes in the air. We're underway here at Phoenix. Frank Wynn going to be your early race leader into turn number 1. Andy Corsa, Simon Fell going to battle side by side off at 2.
Yeah, I tell you, Simon's going to be one to watch tonight. I was racing with him in a race last night, and he put a huge whooping on the whole field. So don't be surprised if he's a dark horse candidate to make something happen.
I mean, speaking of which, I mean, like he started as being the most outstanding. I think he's like, I mean, he's still where, I mean, maybe he's still where he was, but I just saw him overtaken by someone. So
welcome.
By the way, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Sebastian Kinder.
Surprise? Well, not a very bad surprise for me. Yeah. My computer just crashed. Oh well.
No one expects the French Inquisition.
Oh dear, dude! Don't get me started on the French Inquisition. There is some history behind it, but let's not talk about the French Inquisition. Let's talk about racing, shall we?
Well, damn, I was just making a Monty Python joke. We didn't have to go all history lesson on them.
Oh, that's fantastic. Frank Wynn and Greg Seitz going to duel here at the front of the field. Seitz just set the fastest lap of the race at 25.42 seconds. Wynn getting way up against the outside safer barrier in turns 3 and 4. Greg Seitz going to check out early on. He will be the race leader as lap number 4 goes up on the scoreboard.
Now, what's interesting is that they're running. I mean, you must have already said that while having technical difficulties. This is the legacy version of Phoenix. That means that there's grass on the apron, so no dog leg abusing, or as would the French NASCAR commentator would say, no cutting the cheese of turn 1.
Yeah, that's a pretty important thing to notice here is that not only is the dog leg grassed off, but even to the inside of turn number 1 and well through turn number 3 and 4, you have grass all the way around here, so you don't really have the opportunity to try to cut the racetrack off at all. One of the other big things here is Frank Wynn just sets another fastest lap of the race. This thing's going to tick by in a hurry. 60 laps, 25 seconds per lap. Without caution flags, this race is over in a half hour.
Yeah, but that's a kind of a big if. You know, this track kind of breeds chaos. In fact, Did I see some dust or... Yeah, I think someone died on pit road.
Yeah, taking a look
James.
here. Getting the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on Kevin Ayers. We'll take a look here. See what happened to the number 8 machine. Chris Kresge also out of the race. Just kind of lost it on the entrance to pit road. Big hit to the inside wall, and no backup cars available for these cars tonight.
Yeah, I don't think Chris was able to actually make it into the session. I don't think he ever logged in at all. That's a shame.
Battle for the 10th and 11th position. James Allen, Mike Holler. They're going to fight for that position. Also joining them, 19 of Mike Olson. Big old bizzle down the front straightaway there by James Allen. Holler runs way up to the outside in turns 1 and 2. He's going to give up 2 spots in the process. Taking a look at some of the oval course ringers here. Pick up James Curtis running in the 4th position. That Serge Cola, number 88 machine. Currently running 1 second back of race leader Greg Seitz. We have to go back another full 1 1/3 seconds to pick up Simon Fell. He's leading a train of Dave McDonald, Jason Owens, and Nathan Bart down the front straightaway. Andy Corsa fighting with James Curtis for the 3rd position here. Curtis going to have that preferred inside line off of turn number 4. One of the big factors I would imagine here tonight, guys, is going to be the weather. A little bit odd here for Phoenix, at least especially this time of year. 69 degrees, the ambient temperature, not much in the way of humidity, very light breeze, and a track temp of only 73 degrees. There's a ton of grip in the racetrack at this
point. God, if only people on the back home on the West Coast were actually dealing with 9-degree temperatures.
Yeah, really. A lot of thoughts and prayers to the folks dealing with 115-degree temperatures in the Pacific Northwest. Absolutely insane, but working lap number 15. We're already at 1/4 distance, and it's been all Greg Seitz and Frank Wynn here.
And meanwhile, Jason Owens just trying to make his way through the field. He just overtook Simon Fell, and he is trying to catch... no, did he? Yeah, he overtakes Simon Fell, and now he's trying to make his way back to James Curtis and Andy Corsa.
Yeah, we get you a look at the replay here on this one. Owens down to the inside. He'll make the pass cleanly into turn number 1. These races, especially Phoenix, the oval side of things for the PM18s, pretty big source of pride for Jason Owens to try to put on a pretty big show here. He's an oval guy in a lot of respects, and pretty quickly catching up here to James Curtis and Andy Corsa.
Yeah, but I'm concerned about how much he's going to have left in that car when he gets by these two, because he might be able to catch up to the top 2, but I don't know if there's the...
I mean, with how Andy just got out of the way.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you're talking about knowing how to manage your equipment on the ovals is just absolutely critically important here. There's not many guys better at that than James Curtis and Jason Owens in this race. Maybe Kevin Smalley, who's back in the 8th position, but it just goes to show you how deep and talented this field actually is.
Could be interesting for Jason Owens, like the black car John Dinkle has been overtook by 2 leaders. So now let's see if Jason can use him as a pick to overtake James Curtis. And as I said that, he's trying to move down the inside, so just like, nope, I don't need it. Ooh.
I was going to say, he doesn't even need the pick at this point. That number 1 machine of Jason Owens, normally the 87 is how we see that Extra Life Riley Children's Foundation machine numbered up. Here in the officials, you carry the number of the iRating of the driver. Now, obviously, Jason running that custom paint scheme, you'll still see the 87 on it, but this is not going to help things, having to fight James Curtis for a lap and a half there to get the pass made. Slide up to the front of the field here, pick up the battle for the race lead. Greg Seitz, Frank Wynn staying within a quarter second of each other. Wynn running a little bit higher lane through turns 3 and 4. Almost like we're seeing Wynn diamond that corner off just a little bit. Runs the higher lane all the way through 1 and 2. And Sebastian, this is something where we saw it in the Ezra IndyCar race a little bit ago at Pocono. You kind of have to get some air on the front wing of these cars if you want to be able to keep pace with the car in front of you.
Yeah, you're talking about Pocono, just like, no, this isn't bring good memories at all. But yeah, like that race at Pocono was pretty wild when we were in the dirty air and just it wouldn't turn. I just got shocked multiple times on turn 3. And yeah, these guys are facing the same issues where you don't have much downforce as you usually have in the clean air, and you have a bit more speed. So you'll have to lift or just get in the clean air and run your lines.
Pretty quick lap times here at the front of the field as well. Best lap time 25:24 for race leader Greg Seitz. 25:35 last time by. He's only lost a tenth of a second, and we are already rapidly closing in on the halfway point here. Jason Owens losing ground to the race leaders, still 3.7, now almost 3.8 seconds back. Trouble on the racetrack. Caution flag is out at lap number 25. Trouble for Paul Jennings. Let's take a look and see what happened here.
Huh.
Kind of the same deal. Lost it all by himself. Oh, man. It drills the
attenuator
attenuator.
party. Oh, no.
Oh, that was a huge hit for Paul Jennings.
I remember. Who did he hit? Who was that car that
may have been Kevin Dixon here. No, actually, I may have been Jason Paydu. Take a look here.
The car who hit him again, because I think that's Garrett Cockburn.
Going on board here with Jason Paydu. Yeah, Paydu able to clear that one pretty quickly, so it wasn't Jason Paydu, but man, what a wild hit. Now it's going to give everybody a chance to sort of reset the thought process here. Working lap number 27, and perhaps the biggest beneficiary of this caution flag is going to be Jason Owens. See if we can't get a quick word with him here. Jason currently running in the 3rd position. Nice drive so far up through the field, but I'm pretty sure you're thrilled seeing that caution flag come out. I don't think Jason hit the button on his wheel to talk to us.
Great insight, Jason. You always have the best things to say.
It always helps to push the button, right? Sorry, I'm a little tired after that. Man, what was that, almost 30 laps? Yeah, so as I was telling no one, I messed up my Q lap coming through 4 and dropped about 2/10, and had to work really hard those first 27 laps to get it back and get back up here. And I don't know if I have anything for Greg or Frank. They're super quick and they're great drivers, but we're going to go see what we got.
Well, good luck to you.
Jason,
the
is pitting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, are you thinking about pitting at all? Do you think your tires will be able to last you the whole race?
Yeah, oh yeah, tires are good. My set's pretty light on tires. I'll be low around 78, 77 right front at the end of the race. I was really worried about fuel if we didn't have a caution. I was going to be half a liter or a liter short, so needed that one caution.
All right, Jason, thank you very much here. We'll let you get back to getting ready to run the race. But kind of an interesting insight there is the fact that some of these drivers are running themselves pretty tight on fuel, anticipating the cautions. You wonder if something similar isn't happening here at the front of the field, that maybe that's where some of the speed that Greg Seitz and Frank Wynn have is they need a caution flag or two just to make it on fuel.
Yeah, I know the set I had in last night's race was pretty similar. I know I need to actually come in and stop fuel on one of the cautions. And yeah, I really like to see what in the world he's doing on that set, because the one I had certainly wasn't easy on tires. Jealous.
Yeah, I'm interviewing right now, but what if Jason decided to play it safe for the tires, and Greg and Frank's setups are more hard on the tires? That could play into Jason's hands in the latter half of the race.
It very well could.
Good point, my little French amigo.
I was going to say, it's going to be important to watch here. Even getting the tires over temperature, I don't think we're going to see it with the track temps as low as they are, but it really could turn out to be a bit of a mess here. Green flag going to come back in the air this time. One car heading down pit road. Not sure who that was, but
Jason did not get going. What
no,
in
I
the
think
world?
that's because John Dinkle was between him and the race leaders. Get you the Hot Shoe Raceway instant replay on this. There's John Dinkle diving off into pit road. Jason Owens couldn't pass him until the green flag came out. So he sort of got hung out to dry a little bit here. We've got Dave McDonald and James Curtis battling off for turn number 2.
This is clearly what Jason didn't need right now, this result. That has completely... Like, he's back to square one. He's back to square one. Those two guys are in front, very far ahead, and now he'll have to hope that they either collide or they just...
That's it. Someone died in the background in turn 4. I think we may be getting that caution he needs.
Trouble on the racetrack for Kevin Dixon. No caution flag going to come out just yet. We've got one car slow down on the apron in turns 3 and 4. Get to the Hot Shoe Raceway instant replay on that one here. See what happened to Kevin Dixon. Man, that car just twitched and bang. Huge hit there for Kevin Dixon. He has to get the car stopped, take the tow. We stay under the green flag. There's Greg Seitz and Frank Wynn separated by about 3 car lengths. The better fight's going to be between Jason Owens and Dave McDonald, but that one has settled down a little bit as well. Another good fight on the racetrack here going to be between James Curtis and Nathan Bart. Curtis holding on to about 1/10 of a second here over the 18 of Bart. Both of those cars down 2 spots from where they started the race here. Good drives through the field for Jason Owens and Dave McDonald. Up 5 and 6 spots respectively, and it really goes to show you the strength of the field. I mean, I hate to harp on it, but when you're talking about losing 1/10 or 2 and it drops you from 1st to 15th in qualifying, pretty unreal.
Yeah, this is the broadcast split. This is the best of the best. It didn't surprise anyone at this point.
Kevin Smalley, Simon Fell, and Mike Olson dueling for 8th, 9th, and 10th. That fight settling down just a hair at the front of the field. The gap's still about a quarter of a second. Jason Owens not able to gain any time on this front pair. Dave McDonald hanging right on the rear wing of Owens as well as they come through the dogleg and into turn 3. Tell you what here, guys, we haven't gotten to do this one yet tonight. We'll pick them up next time. They're going to come across the start-finish line. But Greg Seitz, Frank Wynn, Jason Owens, Dave McDonald, and Andy Corsa make up your top 5. We'll give you all at home a chance to crank it up. Taking a look back at the front of the field as we're down to 20 laps to go. Greg Seitz is your race leader by a 10.5 over Frank Wynn. Jason Owens running in third, 2 seconds back, another half second back to Dave McDonald.
What's pretty sad is that Jason is running at the same pace of the leaders, pretty much. So that reset just completely messed his race.
Yeah, if we can get another yellow, it's going to set up with the Wild West shootout we're all hoping for.
Yeah, that's the other big factor here is that you don't want to have the yellow come too late in the race, but then you end things under caution. And with having several cars now being scored laps down, it's going to be at least a 3-lap yellow. So it's got to come in the next 10 or so laps in order for this race not to finish under the caution flag. But I tell you what, we've got the shootout here at the front. Frank Wynn has been stalking Greg Seitz since the drop of the green flag, and he makes the move into turn number 1, slides up front, slide job,
he
turn
clears
1.
him. Oh,
the switchback, hell yeah! Oh, all right.
Greg Seitz slides back underneath. That wasn't anywhere close to profane there, Seb. Seitz going to cross them back over. We'll see what Frank Wynn's going to do. Seitz cuts off the slider
he
line
threw the bizzle.
into turn 1.
Good idea for Greg.
It's going to cost him a little bit of corner exit speed here as they work down the back straightaway. Seitz trying to protect that inside lane, forcing Frank Wynn to go with the highway.
Idea. Man, the outside line is so huge here that I don't think giving him the inside line this much is going to work out. He was able to get lucky and keep him by that lap, but if he keeps doing that, Frank is going to figure it out, and Frank's going to go right on by.
And meanwhile, guys, Jason and David have been duking it down this past few laps. Actually, David overtook Jason, and Jason overtook him back, so they lost time on the leaders.
And Corsa's right there with them, too. We got a 3-car battle for the last spot. Oh, here we go. Another slide job, maybe?
That one, a little bit of a soft slider into turn 1. Seitz going to cross back underneath. We're going dirt tracking here at Phoenix International Raceway. Seitz runs a little bit high. That forces Wynn way up the racetrack in turn number 4. It's going to open up the gap down to the inside once again. Frank Wynn looks to the inside. Comes up the racetrack, and that may be all she wrote, but Seitz going to try to cross him back under. At some point, Frank Wynn is going to throw the block on that move, coming off the corner. No point in trying to defend it that hard just yet. Seitz again going to cut off the inside lane, slides back up top. Here's Wynn back to the inside. What an absolutely epic duel for the race lead. Wynn didn't come close to clearing him. That forced Seitz way up the racetrack. This race has been fantastic here at the front end. Going to be coming around to 10 to go. Next time by the start-finish line, Jason Owens has carved about a quarter of a second out of the lead that the race leaders had. The problem is a quarter of a second's not going to do him enough good here to get caught up. Wynn now going to fall back in line, maybe cool the tires down just a little bit, try to set up the big run in the last handful of laps. But we're already down to 10 to go here. Frank Wynn looks to the outside, going to try to dive underneath on corner exit. Seitz covers the lane again.
All right, time to place your baits. Who's going to win?
Seitz slides up the racetrack. Wynn may have had to grab the binders just a little bit on the exit of the corner. Frank Wynn's tried the pass every time in turns 1 and 2. He has not tried it yet in turns 3 and 4. You wonder if he's going to try to set Seitz up for that late pass, but do it at the other end of the racetrack.
Well, James, we know how it is to fight for the lead at Phoenix. You remember certain DX Express where Team Watson Racing completely obliterated the whole field. And I would say, like, Frank is and he's trying to go up the inside.
Wynn going to try the inside move again. Still not close enough to complete the pass, but he's going to have a shot into turn 3 this time. Seitz comes down, chops the line off, takes a little bit of air off the front wing of Frank Wynn. Lap number 55 going up on the scoreboard. It'll be 5 to go next time by. 2.5 seconds back now is Jason Owens, but in 5 laps he's made up a quarter of a second. And now a yellow flag may end the race anyway.
Yeah.
So please stay on the track.
Seitz slides way up the racetrack. Little bit of a mistake there out of Greg Seitz. We don't see that happen often. You wonder if Frank Wynn hasn't burned off the tires trying to get that pass made. Been a great duel thus far, though, between Greg Seitz and Frank Wynn. Dave McDonald almost got a piece of the outside wall, running in the 4th position. But we're staying right here at the front. We're down to 4 laps to go.
I'll be honest with you.
Wynn looks inside.
Oh,
that
wow, that
sketchy.
Was dangerous.
My goodness me.
If Frank Wynn gets past Greg Seitz here, he may run away and hide. That number 2 machine is absolutely fantastic right now. Greg Seitz is doing just enough to hold off Frank Wynn. Going to be 2 to go. Lap traffic's going to come into play.
Let's see. Oh, well, he gets out of the way.
Yes, but it stopped Frank Wynn from making the attack. Wynn almost got it up into the outside safer barrier on the exit at 2. Frank Wynn is going to have 4 more corners to try to get past Greg Seitz. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go here at Phoenix. Frank Wynn may not be close enough to try it in turn 1. He does not. The gap stays at 2 car lengths. Does he have anything going into turn number 3?
I don't think he's got him. I think Greg got it.
Off at turn number 4, the gap stays right where it was. Checkered flag in the air. Greg Seitz picks up the win here at Phoenix over Frank Wynn. Jason Owens comes home in the 3rd position. 4th to Dave McDonald. And Andy Corsa rounds out your top 5. Oh, my goodness. What a spectacular battle at the front of the field.
And Greg Seitz won again. He always win. Is this not secretly a Penske or something?
I'm not entirely sure what is underneath of those Rust Racing cars, but the setups are absolutely fantastic. Greg Seitz gets the win by 0.2 of a second over Frank Wynn. In that battle, they opened the gap back up to 3.2 seconds over Jason Owens in the 3rd position. Dave McDonald, Andy Corsa round out your top 5. James Curtis in the 6th position. 7th to Kevin Smalley. 8th, Simon Fell. 9th, Nathan Bart. And 10th, James Allen. Mike Olson, Jason Paydu, Mike Holler, John Dinkle, Garrett Cogburn back through the 15th position. Kevin Dixon, Paul Jennings, and Kevin Ayers make up the 18 starters. 19th place belongs to Chris Kresge, who was a did not start this evening. I'll tell you what here, guys, before we get ready for the Victory Lane interviews, that was absolutely spectacular what we saw at the front of the field here.
That, you know, I made all the bolstering about Greg and Jason in the shootout, but man, Frank and Greg, that was the real Wild West shootout. Unfortunately, Greg was just a little quicker on the draw.
Let's get the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay here and show you your runner-up finisher this evening, Mr. Frank Wynn. Frank, you were throwing slide jobs on the pavement here at Phoenix. Ultimately, was there anything else you could have done to try to get around Greg? Because that battle was absolutely incredible to watch.
Yeah, you know, I tried to leave it down to the last 15 laps. You know, I tried to conserve my tires a bit, and you know, maybe during the whole race, I was taking more wider lines through, especially through 3 and 4. So I thought I had something with my extra tire life, but you know, Greg defended well. He traded blows with me. He answered every challenge I sent him. And, you know, I don't know if I could have done anything differently to get past him. So kudos to him.
This was a race that sometimes at Phoenix you get the eye-pacing sessions where you're just cycling laps under yellow for the entire hour that the session has available. And then tonight we had a single caution flag. That had to be fairly exhausting trying to work Greg as hard as you did and not make a mistake and end your night early.
Yeah, you know, I sort of short-filled a bit. That was also the reason why I didn't put up much of a fight in the first stint, let him by. Just so I could stay within his draft to save fuel a little bit. But, you know, he had the pace to keep both of us away from the chasing groups. So, yeah, it was pretty exhausting. I needed down a few bottles of water after that one. My arms are a little bit sore too, but you know, I much prefer that than having, you know, 5 or 6 cautions in a race. One caution race, that's what it's all about.
All right, Frank. Well, congratulations on a fantastic runner-up finish tonight here, bud. Who do you want to thank?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right, there you go. There's Frank Wynn. Let's get our 3rd place finisher here tonight, Jason Owens. Jason, you ultimately seemed like got a little bit snookered on that last restart with the lap car pulling off just ahead of you.
Yeah, that's on me. Like I mentioned in chat, way too late for it to have been appropriate. Like, hey, John, go with the leaders and maybe duck a little bit left. And I don't think I did a good job of communicating that. And when he ducked to the left, it said, let him back by on my screen. So I had to wait for that to clear before I could go. So John, if you're watching, I apologize. I shouldn't have said anything. Should have just had you go with the leaders, and that's totally my fault. I screwed that up. But fantastic one caution race today. It was really fun seeing Greg and Frank swap it back and forth out there, and love these cars on this track. Thanks for putting on a great show here tonight, Chris.
Yeah, this one was a ton of fun to call, and ultimately we didn't even get to see much of you and Dave McDonald battling because the race for the lead was so crazy. But you and Dave were putting on a show back there as well.
Well, I didn't want to. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I think about with 15 or 17 to go, lap car came out of the pits and sat right in the middle of 3. And I think I tapped the car. I know I tapped the wall. Dave got around me, and I managed to get back by him before the end of the race. But man, it was an intense one out there. I need to go have a podium beer.
Yeah, I hear you on that one, brother. Congratulations on the 3rd place finish here tonight. Who would you like to thank?
Just want to thank Extra Life. Riley Children's Hospital ran with the throwback for me, Riley livery tonight, hoping it'd bring me some luck, and almost wrecked in qualifying with it, but managed to come through the field. I don't know. I think Dave ended up with hard charger of the race, but I was really going for it.
Yeah, that was an absolutely spectacular run here tonight, Jason. So thank you very much for the show here. Once we get back to the Twisties, I don't know how much we'll see you, but looking forward to seeing it at Iowa here in a couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, you'll see me run Red Bull Ring next week. I won't be competitive, but I'll be out there. So looking forward to it. Thanks again for all you guys do here on the broadcast.
Oh, that's spectacular. Let's get our race winner here, Greg Seitz. And Greg, that battle was, we've seen you run out front, run away, and hide so far this season. That was most certainly not the case tonight. Frank gave you every bit of what you could ask for in a battle for the win.
Yeah, you did a great job. I'm literally just got out of rookies in oval, so definitely not my usual environment, but it was super fun actually.
We were kind of laughing about that in the pre-race, that you're the number 16. We're used to seeing you with your 4 million iRating or whatever it is, carrying the number 1, doing your thing out front. This is most certainly not your regular cup of tea by any stretch.
No, not at all. I don't consider myself an oval driver by any means. So, I feel like I kind of got a little lucky just qualifying well there. And then, I felt like, that this track took a little bit of skill, especially into the first turn. That I think I got pretty good runs through there. And so, I think it definitely took some skill here. But I'm usually not used to just turning left all the time.
Well, it was a fantastic run for you tonight, brother. Congratulations again on the win here, and let's get the thank yous out of the way while we're at it, too.
Yeah, thanks for you guys for putting on the broadcast, and Frank for giving me such a great, clean battle. He's a really respectful, clean driver, so it's really fun to race with him. And then, as usual, my team, we practiced together and raced together and had a great time.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Race winner Greg Seitz putting on one heck of a show tonight with Frank Wynn, and that was absolutely spectacular. We joke about running out of superlatives for Greg Seitz. That show tonight was awesome, and apparently we didn't do too bad of a job either here. As Nathan Barnt, one of our drivers tonight, checking in saying, to be honest, these broadcasters are better than the real Road to Indy broadcasters. It was great racing with you guys tonight. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Before we wrap things up here, gentlemen, let's get your final thoughts. And you sang the Wild West shootout, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Man, we got every bit of that and more here out of this show tonight, James.
I don't know. Was there really any ugly? I don't even think there was a whole lot of bad. This was a great race as far as any metric you can even come up with. This was an absolute barn burner. of a race, and exactly what I was hoping for when I saw it was.
Yeah, and Sebastian, you've got a lot more experience in the PM18s on the road course side of things, but ultimately it's nice to throw in the ovals here because it doesn't matter how quick you are. You can beat Greg Seitz and leading the points by 250 or whatever it is. The ovals seem to be the great equalizer for these cars.
It definitely is, because it's a lot of time it's almost flat out. And as draft play a very, very important game in all this, and you know, for a few dollars more, I would like more of this.
Yes, that was it was everything we could have asked for and more. Completely different skill set from what we see on the road course side of things, which makes it a ton of fun to call as well. But with that, we're going to wrap up our coverage here for this evening from Phoenix International Raceway. This show has been pretty darn cool. A really great night of racing here between the Ezra IndyCar Series at Pocono and now the Indy Pro 2000s here from Phoenix. Coming up tomorrow night, weather permitting, it will be live real-world racing from Linda Speedway, Jonestown, Pennsylvania. The radio call coming up here. Casey Kreider will be handling the play-by-play duties. Live video coverage at the same time on our YouTube channel from Snydersville Raceway, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Another full night of kart racing. Also, the All-Star Slingshots have a big tour event up there this weekend as well. Coming up on Saturday, we've been hyping it for months, the DeWeather Cares Charity Softball Classic. Something unlike you have ever seen before here on the National Racing Network, that is for sure. But with that, we'll wrap up our coverage here from Phoenix International Raceway. For Sebastian Kinder and James Watson, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to have you with us this evening. We will talk to you soon. Have a great night, everybody.